Hey there, friends. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a beautiful princess named Snow White. She had skin as white as snow, lips as red as roses, and hair as black as ebony. Snow White's stepmother, the queen, was jealous of her beauty and constantly asked her magic mirror, "Who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always answered, "You, my queen," until one day it said, "Snow White is the fairest." Filled with envy, the queen ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and harm her. But the kind huntsman couldn't bring himself to hurt the innocent princess and told her to run away. "Please don't kill me," begged Snow White. "I'll do whatever you want." Then the huntsman said, "Here's your chance. Run into the forest and hide. I'll tell the queen you're dead." So Snow White ran deep into the woods, not knowing where to go or what to do. After a while, she came across a small cottage. She knocked on the door and said, "Please let me in. I'm lost and afraid." A little man inside looked out through a window and called, "Who's out there?" Snow White said, "It's just me, a lost and frightened girl who needs a friend." The little man opened the door and was immediately taken aback by Snow White's beauty. "Don't worry, my dear," he said. "You're safe here." And he led her inside. As it turned out, the cottage belonged to 7 dwarfs. Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey. They were all mining in the nearby hills when they heard Snow White's pleas for help, and now they wanted to know if she would come live with them. At first, Snow White was hesitant, but then she said, "Thank you so much. I would love to live with you." And so Snow White moved right in. She cooked meals for the dwarfs, cleaned their house, and they protected her from any harm. Meanwhile, the queen had learned that Snow White was still alive and was furious. She was so angry that the mirror had betrayed her. "You've always favored Snow White," she hissed. "From now on, I will favor someone else." And the queen stormed out of her castle. Now, the queen had a wicked plan in mind. She would disguise herself as an old woman and trick Snow White into eating a poisoned apple. "That'll put an end to this silly charade," she cackled. The next day, while Snow White was picking flowers, the queen approached her and said, "Good morning, child. May I have that lovely red apple you're holding? I'd like to make an elixir from it." Snow White hesitated, but the queen insisted, saying it would be an honor for the princess to help her. So Snow White handed over the apple without thinking twice. The queen took a bite and said, "Oh my, this apple must be cursed. It tastes awful." Snow White took the apple back and was about to throw it away when the queen said, "Wait, let me finish it off." Before Snow White could stop her, the queen bit into the apple again. But this time it was Snow White who cried out, "Beware, my child. This apple has been poisoned." Then Snow White fainted. The dwarfs were heartbroken when they found Snow White lying on the floor, but they refused to give up. They placed her in a glass case and took turns keeping watch over her until she could be saved. Meanwhile, the queen was gloating over her victory when suddenly the 7th dwarf appeared before her. "You won't get away with this," he said angrily. And with that, he vanished. The queen was taken aback, but she quickly recovered. "A little scare, that's all," she thought. "But soon everyone will forget about her." And with that, the queen went back to her castle. However, what she didn't know was that a handsome prince had heard about Snow White's beauty and had come to see her for himself. When he saw that she was sleeping peacefully in the glass case, he knew he had fallen in love with her. Suddenly, the magic was broken and Snow White woke up. The prince and Snow White fell in love and decided to get married. As for the queen, she was never heard from again. And that, my friends, is the story of Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. What do you think of this story? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more fun stories. See you next time.